All right, hi everyone. Welcome back to USS Payette. Welcome to our new network. Thanks to Norse Foundry for inviting us on, and thanks for the Dice Guys for having us for so long. It was great.
No gang signs.
No gang signs. West side, east side. Actually, it is actually west and east coast, by the way, too. Yeah, so Norse Foundry's on the east coast, and yeah. We are gonna play our season 2. If you watched on the old episodes, we kind of had an end of a story arc, and it was a good story arc too. We kind of had a lot of happening, and so your ship has been finally repaired. Yeah, and we're gonna do the whole like in between seasons. There's always a chunk of time, so there has been a chunk of time. We're gonna have moved from 2370 to 2371, and yeah. Are we ready? All right. So, we're going to do 2 things. I love how you guys are like, yeah, okay.
I was just thinking, are you ready? Yeah. No, we never are.
You're never ready.
It's
never ready.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things this time. So we're still going to roll for a recap of last game. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I need those dice numbers saved because we're going to go from low to high. Or high to low, depending on who calls it, and you're going to tell me what your character did in your 6-month downtime. Okay, whether it was and this has to be like a couple sentences, like whether it was like a short tour, or an extended vacation, or some leave that you've racked up, because there's always like a ridiculous amount of leave that they've always racked up. A short teaching stint at the academy, right? That's okay. So that's what I want you to kind of think of. But first, who had the buy? Who gets to choose? All right. So is it going to be high or low, my friend?
High.
Okay.
I
so
want
then
Leah to say it because she rolls high on her dice.
So,
she should play D&D.
I need you to roll as well this time.
Wouldn't I just go first on what I did then?
Yeah. Okay. We can do that. Yeah. Sure.
Or not.
Nailed it. I think I won that roll.
Yeah.
So I gotta do the recap, eh?
Curse my dice.
Yep.
All right.
Everybody rolled bad.
We're just trying to get those dice out. And just get them out of the way. Go for ones later.
That's right. Yeah.
So what did we do? In our last sort of overarching episode, we ended up on Vulcan. Taking a leave, we actually followed our now lieutenant, Sofek.
Yeah,
he was a lieutenant junior grade before. Back to Vulcan, as he is a Vulcan. Pon far. No.
That does make
on knock it out.
While we were on Vulcan, we did a couple tours to museum. Gurkhan went and fought somebody, but in doing so, we came.
I learned how to fight somebody the Vulcan way.
Yeah.
Using a Lurpa.
In doing so, one of the school colleagues of Sofex came across and gave us some information that he wanted to check out regarding a Temple of the Mine Lords. So we went and investigated. Long story short, Romulan plot. There was Romulans there, and we managed to get out of that situation without a fight. Managed to make it back to a compound. In doing so, we found out that one of the higher level people in the Science Academy was kind of in on it. So we start doing our own investigations, but in the meantime, we also kind of get bushwhacked into a plot where they try to frame us for stealing artifacts from that temple. We managed to kibosh that really quick, but we were still under investigation.
Yep.
In the meantime, we got our Ensign Beagle, one of our favorite recurring characters, to get away on our shuttle to try and get help. We did some investigation. We managed to find out where these stolen items from the temple were going to get transferred from an Orion freighter to a Romulan ship. So I contacted a friend of mine. I'm Captain Devon Zanny, Commander Captain Devon Zanny. one of my colleagues from Starfleet helped us get a shuttle. We got ambushed by more Romulans. You can see a theme.
No, we got ambushed by the same Romulans.
The same Romulans.
Should have shot them the first time.
Yeah, should have. Managed to get past them on the shuttle. Made the rendezvous between the Orion and Romulan ship. Insert our ship in between to essentially steal the relics back by interrupting the transporter beam. Then Sofik and Gurkhan made us look like a big old, I can't remember which class of ship. Excelsior ship. Kind of threw them off their game, but blew out everything in the shuttle because we have a habit of destroying the ships we're on.
Yeah.
At that point, Beagle showed up with an actual Excelsior and rescued us. We helped the Orions out because that deal obviously went south, and the Romulans don't like it when things don't go their way, so they tend to shoot people. In the end, we were exonerated, and the relics were returned back to Vulcan. A big old investigation into how there were Romulans on Vulcan started, but that is, as Kermit would say, none of our business.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's actually just go around because you roll like a 15. You got a 16, I think.
Sure.
15, 16.
15, 16,
20.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna go like this then.
Fair enough.
Okay. So in the last 6 months, I think 6 months is long enough. Hey, between season 1 and season 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're at Earth, so I'm not going all the way back to Konos. So my character...
You're right, Vulcan. Yeah.
Yeah, so my character takes his wife on a vacation to Vulcan.
Nice.
And then to
Oh,
Ryza.
God. You guys go from Vulcan to Ryza.
Yeah, and
You are
then-
the most non-Klingon Klingons I think I know.
We just wanted to see what the two best Federation vacation planets were about.
And what did you think?
Not enough fighting. No fighting pits, which
Vulcan
is
is a
disappointing.
vacation planet.
That's what we said last time.
That's true. It is top 3.
Top three.
It's in
They came up with.
it's in the top 10 places of things you should see in the Federation.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it would be like good for like a spa or something.
Yeah.
I did have a wonderful... I'm a Betazoid. For those who don't know, I did have a wonderful mental breakdown and reconstitution on Vulcan.
It was a
I
very
really needed-
calming.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my
You
character
have a
was
mental
slightly
breakdown every
upset
episode.
Thanks.
that there was no actual like combat sports. He was hoping to watch a Parisi Squares tournament.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
happen.
No.
So he had to. So he spent most of the time in the hotel room watching it on the TV.
But Ryza would have had it.
Ryza did have it, but he couldn't get tickets because it was like 6 months in advance.
Okay.
He's like, but I'm a Federation officer. They're like, they looked at him like, you're a Klingon. He's like, do you not see my ranking? But you're on vacation. Vacation.
Like points at it, but you're not actually
No,
wearing
I'm
a
wearing
shirt.
nothing.
So
Points at his neck.
Let's just have a tattoo of
Got a
it now.
tattoo of the-
On that side, and then over here is 3 scars representing my rank in the Klingon Federation.
They're not tattoos, they're actually just brands.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna say his wife had a great time.
All right. Yeah.
She enjoyed it. She
Yeah.
doesn't understand because she's been through the Batleth tournament scene. So she's like, "Why are you always up? Like you want to have a sword fight all the time? You lost last time we fought." And the character being, yeah, I gotta prove myself. I gotta learn and get better.
Okay.
Even though they've been married for like what 30+ years now.
Yeah, they've been married a while, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm an old.
And
great
neither
Klingon.
of them have died. This is amazing.
And she
Because
is.
they're both valiant fighters.
Ah.
And plus,
So
death
many
isn't that
children.
rough for Klingons as long as we die fighting.
Those
Kling-
core
Klingon
words.
marriages are measured the same way as dog years. Every year.
They've been together only
Years or
6 years.
7.
Yeah.
Everyone else's terms is 6 years.
Uh,
30. Wow, that's a long time. Okay, how about you? What was the last 6 months?
Sipping tea.
It's
Doing nothing
probably
but sipping.
I spent another couple months on Vulcan doing the original thing that I was doing on Vulcan, which is recovering and restructuring my brain from being infected by the Borg.
Yeah, you've done well.
And after that point, I had heard that there was a professor doing a seminar on deflector dishes over on Earth.
Okay.
So I took a ship over there and spent the rest of the time learning about theoretical deflector, basically simulations.
What was the name of the professor?
Moriarty. No.
Okay. Bori? Professor
Yeah.
Bori?
Professor Bori.
Deflector.
Defense.
Uh,
First name.
Creative
So he's a
people.
bully.
Deflect, last
Okay.
name Tor. He's a Cardassian.
An expert on
Dolphin.
what was it on deflector dishes?
Yep, deflector dishes, theoretics, and practicals. Basically, modifying deflectors outside of their optimal use.
Which we've done a few times on the ship.
Yes.
Stop
I
blowing
also-
out my relays.
I also decided that would be a good thing considering the situations that the Payette gets into, and with us constantly going outside of normal operating parameters.
Yeah, he called the series deflector dishes, not just a social awkwardness. Bolians don't have a sense of humor. They don't get
Insert
it.
Vulcan sign.
Yeah.
Vulcan side is usually an eyebrow raise.
Yeah, and
Was
then
it a good series?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I learned quite a bit,
Alright.
and then I had to return to Vulcan to the rest of the crew, and go back to Narendra Station with them all.
Well, you all could have met back on Narendra at different times. That's fine.
Ooh, let's do that then.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately,
Not spending another 4 weeks in
during
the
his time
shuttle
on
with these
Vulcan, I
people.
did poke in a couple of times.
All right.
Yeah, I did congratulate him on becoming a lieutenant.
Nice.
And I
yes.
mentioned that we're gonna
Yeah,
have a
you
big,
became a lieutenant.
I
Yes.
mentioned that we're gonna throw a big party for him when he gets back on the ship.
Okay.
No open fire pits.
It'll be in the holodeck. I was gonna give him the ascension with the pain sticks.
No pain sticks.
How about Varia?
Since we're on Vulcan and
Well, you start on Vulcan, but you
Yeah.
have 6 months, so
right, so I'd say that Varia would probably try to continue with her management training program that she's been doing. She's been trying to learn how to communicate better with the crew, since she is the first officer, but has a very strict military background, so she can come off as harsh and intimidating sometimes.
Mhm.
So she's been trying to learn how to be a better leader. When Sofek goes to Earth, she's going to go with him because she's actually being a human, but she has never actually been to Earth. So she would go just on the same shuttle as Sofek.
Never get away from them.
you've never actually been to Earth.
No.
So were you Starfleet Academy trained offsite?
Yes. Yeah. I was kind of like straight into the military side of it, so I would say I would been trained probably at a station somewhere. I assume they have training offsite. Like I feel like logistically would be
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You might have been to Earth for your graduation. but
Yeah.
that's about it.
okay.
I mean, if you want this to be your first time, that's totally cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah,
But
you
yeah.
could say
A
that she
video graduation.
went, she went like to San Francisco for her graduation, but was there for like a couple of days and then left. So
Yeah.
she wants to go. She's gonna go to Russia,
Mm-hmm.
or where Russia is now.
It's still Russia.
Yeah, and just see, like, look around, tour. Maybe search the computer records on her way to see where her family was originally from,
Mm-hmm.
and go to that town, and then come back to Narendra Station after. Just basically taking a personal leave, trying
Cool.
to center herself too, because she in the Borg episodes she lost 2 security officers,
Yes.
and that hit her pretty hard.
That's right. It did,
so-
didn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
How about Zanny?
Well, Zandy's going to Earth too, but not on your shuttle. I'm saying, I need to get away from you people.
Oh, good, because otherwise you'd want to fly.
Yeah.
That is true. I did spend some time. I went back to the temple spa to get my brain right again, because just you people are so inside my head all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I fly my own ship. I gonna rent a warp capable, basically fighter. I forget what they're called. They're Peregrines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly that back to Earth by myself because I actually, before the Borg episode, one of the crew, I think she was a lieutenant, bad with names, actually trying to get to know the crew before the Borg, made a promise that I actually go visit her home place in South Africa. Unfortunately, she didn't make it past the Borg.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, past the Borg episode. So it's kind of a pilgrimage to that place, the finally there to rest, and that's what I do.
Very cool. Okay. Well, nicely done, everyone. Upon your arrival, your ship is there, all fixed up, looking brand spanking new.
My chair better have seat belts.
It is still the USS Payette. No A, no B, no bloody C or D.
I thought it was the A already.
And it was the A, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The first Payette was
We
the
have
saber.
blown up one
That
already.
blown up already.
That's right. Okay.
So this is the A.
So one
This is
bloody
the
A.
One bloody A.
One bloody A.
All right. So, and you have Admiral Shrev gets in touch, says welcome back. Right back to it. We've got your first job for you.
Thank you, Admiral, for having us back. I assume we're in a command briefing.
Yeah. Yeah. Says, I need you to go find the SS Tesla. Went missing 6 weeks ago while cataloging anomalies in an unstable region of the Shackleton Expanse. The region is notorious for an unusual number of temporal and spatial anomalies, some benign and others extremely dangerous. 18 hours ago, we picked up a plasma trail in one of our scout ships, but it's too small and too far out to properly follow. So we want you to head there and high alert so that the trail doesn't dissipate too quickly and carry on from there.
Since we've been gone, have we had noticed any increase in the raiders, frequency of raiders in the Shackleton Expanse?
Not in the areas we've been.
Any other questions from the crew?
How long ago was the plasma detected?
18 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
And that's
Because
the
we're
last...
gonna do a fast track, essentially. I'm doing this as a briefing rather than you guys being on your ship already on.
What do we have the last communication from the Tesla?
Nothing more than just reporting in. It was just a science vessel, right? So it's like an Oberth class. Because I love the Oberth.
It's the big ball, right? That's the one?
It's the sphere with the
Crusher ship.
In the future, in the other one, yeah.
Beverly Crusher flies in.
No. That's different. That's a Pegasus class. The Oberth is the one in Search for Spock, and the Pegasus in Next Generation. That's an Oberth class.
Pegasus class. Pegasus
I
is
know,
an
right?
Birth class.
Yeah. God forbid they
Are
just
we in the Kelvin timeline?
fix it,
No.
right? Yeah. Sorry. Also, I can't believe how much of a nerd I am that I remember all of that. That's kind of
Pretty
impressive.
dope. Were they just researching the anomalies?
They're just researching. So they're researching a primitive planet.
Were there signs of any spatial anomalies that could have destroyed the craft?
Like I said, there's an unusual number of them, so it could have, but we...
Yeah, so pay attention.
Yeah.
It's a briefing.
Okay.
You just became a lieutenant. Get it together.
So we're going to fast track you to the ship and en route.
Is he now our chief science officer?
I would say so.
Okay.
Congratulations.
The party was epic.
Tell us about the party.
I mixed in with the bottles of simulated Vulcan Ale, actual blood wine, which I had brought back. So we don't know what was real and what was fake alcohol. It all tasted the same. So a good
This
chunk
is a
of...
little weird.
But you can't tell because it tastes all the same. You just only notice it when you got inebriated. And when the crew got really drunk, I locked the doors to the...
Oh my god.
I can see your thoughts.
to the transporter room, and I turned it into a nightclub. Just started bumping Klingon dance music, and everybody started partying.
Pretty sure at
In-
that point
in
I
the
would have
holodeck?
vanished.
In the holodeck.
Okay.
And I was the DJ.
I
was
would
mixing.
hope that you
Does
would
anyone
talk
watch?
to me.
Does
about
anyone
this.
watch the Orville?
We are the weirdest shit in the fleet.
Do you watch it?
Some security.
Yeah.
There's a
officers
scene
as
right
bouncers.
now that I'm just picturing in the Orville.
I know which one you're talking about.
From last week. So good.
Well, that's where you were getting
This
it
is
from.
the most epic ever.
Everybody is having a good time though. Nobody was upset at the party.
I'm okay with that. All right, so here is your determination. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so as always, prime directive, and this time into the unknown.
Wait, that's Back to the Future.
Yeah, and we'll actually have theme music on our next show, and if all goes well, a little bit of a movie intro too. I know, I'm kind of excited. I'm having way too much fun with all of this.
Is the movie
whatever.
intro going to be our ship flying off and then exploding and then flying off and then exploding?
You're already asking way too much for me to do.
At the moment,
He's just trying to get the camera swing.
At the moment, we're both happy if we can get some images. That's what we're going for first. Okay, so as you're en route, you get a little bit of information about the planet that was being studied by the Tesla. So it's the Organ system, has 2 Class M planets, both with populations, protected under General Order 1. Organ 2 has a primitive civilization equivalent to medieval Earth. The residents call themselves the Slithar and are a violent and warlike culture. The residents of Organ 3 call themselves the Lormians. Lormians. They're quite different. They're being a mammalian species resembling humanoids. Resembling humanoid lemurs, and are noted for peaceful and communal society. Their technology is equivalent to about mid-21st century Earth, just pre-warp tech, still covered under the Prime Directive. The plasma trail from the USS Tesla leads directly to Organ 3.
What was the name of the species on number 2?
The Slithar.
And what did they look like?
They're reptilian.
Lizardmans.
Oh yeah.
Lizard people. Helm. Set for standard orbit around... Or is it Oregon or Oregon?
Organ. O-R-G-U-N.
Oregon. Oregon 3.
Okay.
Make sure we, if they got satellites, they don't see us. Do that thing. Do the thing.
Yes, Captain.
That's a good idea. Okay, so I need a reason and science.
Somebody smarter than me want to do this?
Sofek, you just got promoted. Time to make it work.
Maybe Sofik should do this, sir.
I agree. Number 1, you are now number 1.
Supported by the ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will...
Or sensors and science if you want.
I'm just happy about this. They gave me a new chair. Much more comfortable.
yeah, sensor.
Sensor science.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my newfound knowledge of deflector dishes.
Yes.
I'm going to use it to basically scatter tachyon particles to reflect any primitive sensor equipment from detecting the ship.
Perfect.
So at that
Perfect.
point, it would be
Science!
still sensors and science for the ship?
Yep.
And for me, it is reason science.
Yep.
Plus computer stuff.
Do I have anything?
Might as well turn this into like a scan of the planet too.
I think that would be advisable.
Yeah. I'll have a sensor scan going on at the same time.
Okay. So yeah, reason and science.
Do I have
It's a difficulty of 2. Oh, by the way, so I guess I should ask: are we going to be doing the? We've done it kind of like a little bit of both, but do you want me telling you the difficulty, or do you guys want to like have to read into the scenario?
I'm good with either.
It makes it a little more difficult because you don't necessarily know if you should buy another dice or not, but it also kind of adds to the suspense because you don't know if you should buy another dice or not.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm happy with not knowing.
Okay, well, let's give it a try without
Yeah.
knowing tonight from this point on, and we'll see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, then we'll change it.
Okay.
No big deal. Oh, sorry. Camera. There we go.
And the ship.
So how do we do?
Ship supports.
3 successes.
Yes, science.
Okay. So you're gonna get a momentum. You have effectively used the deflector to transmit some interference so that the satellites in orbit, because there are satellites in orbit, can't detect you.
And then, my next step, I'm going to perform a wideband sensor sweep of the planet to search for... Well, there's probably humans on the Tesla crew.
Yeah. So the Tesla crew there were 6 scientists: Captain Andrew Forrest, a human lead scientist and a systems engineer. There was Dr. Emmett Sherman, a human astrophysicist. Ebab Thavet, an Antorian geologist. Dr. Norma Grange, a human physicist. Orimu Faz, a trill chemist and xenobiologist. And Dr. Sia Lort, another human biologist and medical doctor. So that was the crew complement of the Tesla. So you can scan for them, or you could scan for the ship itself. I mean, they would be made of tech and stuff that wouldn't necessarily be on a pre-warp
and
society.
that will probably be easier to detect. So I'm going to search for basically ship construction materials that would only be found in
debris, plasma, any sort of
I'm sure
energy
metallic
sure.
compounds.
Dilithium.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have dilithium on this planet at this point.
I hope not.
No, I mean they could.
We're not refined.
Yes.
And if they do, then don't know what they're doing with it. Ship doesn't help.
Computer or technical expertise. One of my skills. Reroll that.
Ship
Nope,
doesn't
that
help
made it
so much.
worse.
All right. Well, I got 3 successes anyways.
All right. Wow. Nicely done.
Zendikar Khan, I feel like there's something in with the sensors. Could you look at that?
So there's another one. You could use those to gather information. You find the Tesla crash landed, relatively intact, in a wilderness region about 200 kilometers from one of the Lemurian cities. Due to the traffic going in and out, you would guess that it's the capital. No humanoid life forms are shown in the vicinity. And the energy fluctuations around the planet are interfering with the sensors, making it difficult to differentiate human life forms from native Lemurians.
200 kilometers is not as far enough as I would hope.
Nope.
Yeah, they definitely saw that thing come down.
And most likely already sent an investigation.
Would you like to use your momentum to gather more information?
Yes.
Okay.
How long does it seem that the ship's been crashed there?
18 hours?
That's a good question. Yeah, about a day. 36 hours by now. Like, we're taking you time to get here, so yeah. Maybe a little bit longer. And also, there's an underground energy source to the north of the capital city that your scans are detecting. It's far more advanced than anything on the planet and is of an unknown kind. Definitely not natural, and unlike anything that the Lemurians are using.
You have a second question for your one momentum.
Do, because I'm studious.
You could also use it to look for the life forms, the humans.
No, you're trying to trick me because you said that was going to be hard.
No, I mean, like, you have your momentum you could use for that.
Well, first of all, because I do get 2 questions. Because my talent. Because yes. Does it appear...
Fucking science!
So the ship's crashed. It's relatively intact.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like there is any power surge? Like, is it in any danger of exploding or
No, it doesn't look like
this.
this ship, the Tesla, is going to, like, explode.
Okay. Not going to have a warp core breach on the planet.
That would definitely solve our
200
problem.
kilometers away from the capital.
It
city.
would solve our problem
So the
if it just went...
The Tesla
Like-
only had 6 crew?
Yeah,
So-
Earth class are small.
Okay.
Skeleton crew just for study.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, like, we're talking slightly bigger than the Defiant, smaller than the Voyager?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Oberth are actually the same size like a Nova.
Oh.
Even smaller,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, they're tiny ships.
Probably just 6 because it's packed with the guild with science equipment.
There.
Yeah, that whole tube on the bottom, that's all just science sensors.
Automated.
Yeah.
Right. Are we able to... Suffolk, are we able to transport to the surface? Or within the ship?
the funky thing with the sensors affecting transporters
Yes,
as well?
it
Of course
is.
it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Had to ask.
So,
This means we'll have to fly down, doesn't it?
atmospheric
Yeah.
disturbance makes transporters useless and requires you to take a shuttle to investigate.
Completely useless?
Yeah.
Would pattern enhancers do anything?
Maybe once you place them in the first place, but you have to get them down there. And they would be completely useless to beaming anything from the ship up.
Captain, I believe I can fire pattern enhancers down to the planet via our torpedo tubes. Rather than fly with you, I will accept this.
They would absolutely see that coming.
I'll take that under
Look like
advisement.
a whole bunch of shooting
Transport the
stars.
entire ship back into orbit.
Just
Wow, just a section of ground going
I must strenuously object to this.
everything
method,
on your
Captain.
ship just groans like
entire
all the
half-
power just dims.
The entire half of the planet's been irradiated.
Not to mention that chunk of land just suddenly becomes a meteor.
Yeah.
Rather than fly with you, I will risk it. I show up with a bicycle.
How about that
helmet
other momentum? Do you want to use it up?
Sure.
These are now standard issue when
I've only crashed
Captain
one
Pilot's
shuttle.
on? But you've crashed my head into the wall multiple times.
I'm gonna
Seatbelts.
lose it anyways at the end of the scene. I'm trying to think of what else I can use it.
Do you trust me?
Oh,
I mean, no, but I'm going to.
So part of your scans, as you refine due to the energy field, you get used to it, so you're able to scan through it more clearly.
Okay, yeah.
You detect human life forms within the capital city.
oh, that's not good.
Of course.
this brings me to another side question. Do we have a image of what these human lemurs look like?
Yeah, and it looks kind of like, in my head, I kind of picture a larger version of, what was his name?
Zaboomafoo?
Oh, yeah, I guess Zaboomafoo would work, but I was thinking King,
Louis?
is that his name? From
Madagascar?
Like the dude
Oh.
with the...
Yeah, King something.
Yeah, I think it's Louis. I think it is Louis.
Because King Louis
sounds
also
something
from
close.
King Louis
King Louis from Jungle Book
Book,
too, but
yeah.
I don't remember. Anyways, it looks
King
kind of
Julian.
like King Julian.
Julian.
Yes. Hey, welcome,
What?
King Julian.
Don't
Yes,
stare at me
come
like
on
that.
in
I
here.
watched Madagascar.
I like to move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it. You
I
like
like
to
to
move it.
Apparently,
Pecan,
I've been keeping up
roll
with
up the
shows
transporter room.
Have you not
I
seen?
haven't seen Madagascar.
Oh wow, it's older. It's a good one.
That song was the song that we played at Stefan's.
Is that the song that was played at Sofek's party?
Sofex, yeah. It was funny.
So it's just in the middle of this party, standing completely still.
In
with
fact,
a
as you guys
glass
are
of
going
wine
down on the
forced
shuttle,
in. Yeah.
as you're going down on the shuttle, like when you do, because I'm assuming you're.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down the shuttle eventually.
When the shuttle kind of scene, so instead of like your classic like Star Trek music, it's the dun 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 dun
It's
dun.
not like
You do roll to my character sitting with 2 seatbelts on,
Yeah.
and he's replicated a bicycle helmet.
We're not on the shuttle yet, but
Okay, so-
Dr. Valek to the conference room. I want to move everybody to the conference room, get the doc in there, because I have a thought, a plan, maybe sort of. We will have to at least rescue our crewmen, which means we will have to infiltrate the city, and this would be a lot easier if we maybe looked like the people that were there.
Oh.
However, the second group, we're gonna have to split into 2 groups, engineering, obviously, because that ship cannot stay there. But we need to see what its capabilities are, how damaged it is, and if there's any other crew left on board. So,
Nice. So essentially with the ship part,
yeah,
you've got to figure out where'd it go. Survivors, recover what you can, determine if it can be repaired, and if not, destroy so the native population can't access the tech.
So here's my thoughts. Rescue team, blowy shippy uppy of no good go team.
Eloquent as always, Captain.
I go for concise communication, Sofek. You know this by now.
Sofex,
I am waiting for it to be implemented.
did you not find it strange that his first response was to blow up the ship and not recover it?
No, listen to the
Isn't that normal
sentence.
for a ship?
Listen to the sentence, just put it backward. Fix first, blow up later.
Also, that is quite typical of our usual missions.
I'm just skipping all the middle part where you guys try to fix it, can't, and blow it up anyways.
There has never been a ship I can't fix except for my first ship and the ship before that.
in the list
I crash it. If I crash it, it's wrecked.
On the last shuttle, which we crashed. Which we didn't crash, the captain crashed.
The last USS Payette as well.
That was him for
That was not my fault. I wasn't flying it.
They never let
Okay,
me...
so,
Anyway.
so the doctor looks at you and says, okay, so judging on the information that the organ computers had sent so far, I don't know that it's possible to make you look like them. And she kind of puts a picture up, and they're about 2 feet shorter than the average human, and have a long prehensile tail, and are like the faces are wrong, and like it's just
Jessica was like 6'4".
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I just look at him like,
There's a possibility, Captain, of me putting on some sort of hologram around you.
Oh.
Portable holodeck, as it were.
I mean, that might work, but then you're going to have to still duck to go through doors that are built for you, and it'll look like you're crouching. So you just need to be aware. And that much holotech, that hasn't been invented yet.
That's true. It's,
I haven't. They've got the doctor going onto planets.
No.
In Voyager,
with
we had the thing, but that was in the
9th century 24th century tech. They don't have that back yet.
Yeah,
that his
back
portable Harlow was in the
fair.
future.
Yeah.
That
Good
being
thought,
said,
though.
it would be easy enough for you to just wear a large robe, bend over, and I do a projection on your face.
That's possible. Yeah. So like,
I want you to
clandestine
invent
could
that,
work.
and we can spread it throughout the Federation. But first, what do you think it might be possible to do a site-to-site transport once we're down on the ship?
Yes.
The scans indicate that is unlikely, Captain. Not without pattern enhancers at both ends.
Yes.
The local population has already seen humans. If we are in the city, they must have told them something.
We must keep cultural contamination to a minimum.
Absolutely is. But it would make more sense if we showed up and said, hey, we're trying to get back our people.
Would you guys like me to, like, you as the players, do you want me to read out General Order 1 to you? So you know exactly what it says?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm trying to avoid any unnecessary contact.
I'm also
with
going to
them.
point out,
Pretty sure it's just like...
Lieutenant Yasukov, yes, they may have seen humans before, but I doubt they've seen a Beta Z, a Vulcan,
I look
and
human.
a Klingon before.
Very true.
He looks like me. Cover his ears, and you're just going to the ship.
This is
Well,
actually
so
like a
say-
legit conversation, even if you don't, like, you the
Yeah.
player don't know what it is. This conversation still happens.
It comes up all the time. Either case, you're probably going to have to help with the ship, so we don't have to worry about pointy ears.
No toques for me.
No. We're wrong.
Those are always the go-to.
You are not.
Theoretically, I
You're
could be
not a
wearing
Pearl
bandana.
Jam fan.
Not a Pearl Jam fan. Okay, as the right of each sentient species to live in accordance within its normal cultural evolution is considered sacred, no Starfleet personnel may interfere in the normal and healthy development of alien life and culture. Such interference includes introducing superior knowledge, strength, or tech to a world whose society is incapable of handling such advantages wisely. Starfleet personnel may not violate this prime directive, even to save the lives or their ship, unless they are acting to right an earlier violation or in an accidental contamination of said culture. This directive takes precedence over any and all other considerations and carries with it the highest moral obligation.
Hence the reason why I wanted to look like the lemur people.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just figured it'd be.
I
So-
think. Sorry, go ahead.
Just as an aside, out of character, like them seeing us wouldn't violate that. We would just have to have a good story.
Knowing that there are aliens unlike them could, because I would assume that since they're 21st century tech, they've started some form of.
Well, they've got satellites in space
right?
and a one world government.
All right.
So yeah,
Yeah. All right.
knowing that they're not alone in the universe is a bigger deal.
Yeah.
We also
Oh, for
don't
sure,
know
yeah.
if the general population knows,
Yeah,
or it
or
could
if
be
it's just
simply
under
the
the
government's
military.
taking the people. They could also have them locked up, so we walk in. They're just like,
More.
more,
Yeah.
into the cage.
Yeah,
We also don't
No,
know.
I was just thinking like maybe we could come from like another area of the world that they haven't explored or something like that. But if it's 21st century, they probably mapped everything already.
And they seem. You said
If you were on the other planet,
Mm.
that might work because they're
Yeah.
more of a medieval society.
Mm-hmm.
They probably just shoot us though.
Well, true.
Well, yeah, we don't know.
Arrow.
We don't know too much about the inner workings of their governmental system. It could be friendly, or they could be not friendly. I think we should fly down to the ship, see what we can do about the ship first, and then once on task, see what we can do about our 6 missing colleagues.
Okay.
Maybe a flyby reconnaissance or something. Like, I don't know, something with the ship that we can block. Any
Just go above the clouds.
Yeah.
Might also be advantageous to go at night, Captain.
Cloudy night. We'll look for one of those.
The Kreshite will tell us whether there was a struggle or not as well.
I like it. That's a 20.
It was not going to be cloudy for the next few days, it would be a full almost 12 hours before it's nighttime.
Let's go down to the...
Sorry. It's literally what I rolled for.
It's cool.
Isn't 20 supposed to be bad for you and good for us?
Anyway, if he's just got a chart...
Technology, don't they?
We don't have...
I
Yeah.
have no clue what you're speaking about, Lieutenant. I have not...
Let's go down to the ship.
Multiple cloaking devices within the ship to hide weapons.
What's in my ready room again? No. Let's go down to the ship, see what we can do about that. See if there's any... They might have posted sentries there, so we'll have to be careful. But we'll get a scan once we're in the upper atmosphere, and then find a coordinate to land so that we won't be seen. Yeah.
I will set up the shuttle to emit tachyons as well from its deflected to help baffle any sensors.
Yeah, modern tech can easily be avoid the planet's surveillance satellites and radar.
Good.
But
Yes, sir.
No grenades.
Yes, sir. We should avoid bringing phasers. We'll have one in the shuttle, I'm sure they are stocked, but I don't see any need for weapons.
We'll have the regular defensive capabilities on the shuttle. I think that'll be enough.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming this is the shuttle that has my batleth still welded to the wall.
yeah, it does.
In case of
I can't
emergency,
get it
break
off.
wall. I can't get it. Nobody can get it off. He welded it with some
I
Klingon
fit with a
thing.
phaser.
It's become like a thing. Every time somebody uses that shuttle, they weld some random thing to the wall, so it's becoming like this living art piece. So every trip it goes on. So there's now also a hydro spanner, a self-stealing stem bolt, and let's say a tricorder casing.
It's slowly turning into a comet.
Yeah.
Behind this batleth falling from orbit or whatever.
All right. Dr. Velik, you are excused. I guess the rest of us will meet in the shuttle bay in 15 minutes.
Okay, so in case you split up, who else is everyone going to take? So you might as well double your team. So you'll have alternate characters in case you need them.
Well, we're taking Beagle.
All right.
Thank God.
That guy.
Has
that
Beagle,
guy
has
pulls through.
Beagle got a promotion yet? Did Beagle get a promotion? Is he lieutenant junior grade or is he still ensign?
He's still ensign.
Okay.
He did get a commendation though. And
Yeah, he was. Oh, my parents were like so excited. It was amazing. They threw a party for me and everything.
If he can sort out some of his
My dad even had romulan ale.
if he can sort out some of his onboard, like when he's on the ship
that's very good.
flusters,
Yeah.
then he's due for a promotion. But right now, commendation. He
He
has pulled through multiple
He
times.
doesn't even notice. He's like just thrilled with the commendation. It's like yeah. He's ecstatic about it.
I would say just keep giving him commendations.
Yeah.
Just to make him don't
He's
put
the
him in
most.
charge of anything.
He's the most highest awarded ensign of all time.
No, half the time it's just basically something you snuck into Gurkhan's and stole one of his medals. Here, Beagle, it's a commendation from Starfleet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He grabs it and he's like, oh, I served at Sector 001. What?
Okay, so who are you gonna bring then? Beagle, and let's say each of you. Well, because you're not gonna. So whoever's gonna stay at the. I want to kind of make it sure that everyone has a character play at each team.
Oh,
You're gonna split the
interesting.
team is what I'm saying, right? So if you two are going to be the lead on the ship team, and these two are going into the city.
We don't know they're going into the city just yet.
Oh, I thought that's what he said. Is
We-
that-
yeah,
that
We
was the
might.
plan.
They
Well,
might.
first we're gonna land, recon the area, and then we'll probably go to the city.
Okay, so
But we're gonna.
so worst comes to worst, we can have another shuttle down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because we can assess the ship fairly quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
But Beagle's still coming with the original crew because 5-man team. Come on.
Okay.
We're gonna have,
I like Beagle.
gonna have Beagle review the Prime Directive before he goes
Oh,
down.
so Beagle is like so. Let's do it.
Guys, Beagle, please review.
Oh, and he just spills it out like full and like verbatim, and he even goes into subsection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and subsection 3.
This Sofek standing behind. That is quite impressive.
I've got it, sir.
Where are you
I
going?
walked
Alright.
past him. I forgot about 1.5.
I'm literally in the same room like, are those all the rules? I
Oh
didn't
no, there's more, but I couldn't remember them all
Like,
offhand.
whoa. Felipe might have committed a war crime.
Please don't say that to me.
Everybody on the shuttle.
Beagle goes, so standard phaser on lock stun?
Yes, please try not to use it.
Crickets.
Yeah, yes, crickets.
The little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Type 1s.
Gurkhan, you got your helmet on?
Oh, I'm handing
So
them out
he-
to everybody.
He slides it in his boot, so it's harder to find if somebody like pats him down.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Okay.
I'll take out my knife and I'll put the phaser in there because I've always got a knife in my boot.
Okay.
I look at her when she takes out the knife and I'm like,
What?
What?
Really?
I'm
Okay.
pointing at my boot now.
So-
Pre-shuttle launch, ready to go.
Yeah,
Everybody
so
sit down.
why don't you give me a daring or control and con for your flight?
Control and con? Sure. That's 2 successes.
Well, the
Okay.
shuttle will support as well, but I don't have shuttle stat lines.
That's okay.
Well, momentum. Shuttle, I'm assuming
12?
doesn't support.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
assuming-
it would support. Thank you.
I'm assuming the shuttle's garbage.
If you want, somebody at Ops could use like control engineering to modify power levels to compensate for the fluctuations in energy powers going through the like so it's not as a bumpy ride.
I guess I'll do that.
All right.
I have a pretty high con.
16 and
Or
16.
reason and science to see if
Oh,
you can
those
use
are
the
two
shuttle's
failures.
shields to mitigate the effects.
That's one off. No,
Still
there's
kind of a
successes.
bumpy
There's
ride.
only, like one. All right.
I rolled 2 16s rather than 15.
Is
when I
that
needed.
like co-pilot?
For running the computers to like have the adjust
Oh, okay.
the engines and stuff.
I mean, I can
Okay.
co-pilot.
Well, that's what he'd be doing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Ops, yeah. So essentially, what happens is you guys come in and you do it well enough. You do it well enough that if somebody was looking, they might see you, but not so poorly that it's gonna like leave a contrail. You know what I mean? So you're not burning up on entry type thing.
And I assume Selford found us a good place to land that's near,
Yeah.
but not near.
So you
With the
settle
ship
near the
itself.
wreckage of the SS Tesla. Yeah. As you exit the shuttle, you see the wreckage of the Tesla lying in a burnt remains of a forest around it. It's been leveled for about 50 meters around the wreckage. Now, the crew cabin appears to be mostly intact. Oh, I'm sorry. I gave you the wrong class of ship. That wasn't Oberth. It was Raven class.
It's smaller then?
Yeah, you remember the Voyager episode where they find Seven of Nine's parents' ship?
Oh, yeah.
That.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's bigger than a Danube.
Bigger than
Bigger
a
than
Danube,
Danube.
smaller than a
So
Starship.
nothing we can transport
So
into
six people would be perfect.
Yeah.
I
Oh, no,
think-
we could fit it in our shuttle bay.
but we can't transport it into our shuttle.
No,
bay.
No,
you
it's
have
too
to
big.
fly it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
A quick examination of the surroundings reveals 2 graves, and quick tricorder scans reveal that one of the bodies is human and the other one is Andorian.
Oh.
Alright, Beagle standard scouting procedure.
Aye, sir.
Beagle and I will take point and do a scout.
Beagle is gonna drop down into the forest.
Oh, yeah, he
And
does.
Beagle just kind of like,
Melts.
yeah,
Batman.
he's like, I'm one with the lead, and then he's gone. He's just like a perfect dive into the water.
He literally has to
Somehow he has face paint on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You turn around. You're like, Beagle, yeah. Beagle stands out and he's already on it, sir. He's full Rambo. He's got like camoed up.
Where did you get that bandana? My sleeve's missing.
Yeah, your sleeve is missing. Exactly.
So the red, right?
Yeah, like on the way down,
you always end up
replicated
taking your shirt
face
off.
paint.
It's hot. We're in a jungle. That was on fire.
Sorry, what do you need from me for scouting?
I'm gonna want a let's go a daring and security.
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
Okay, so you also kind of like duck into the woods and start doing like a kind of patrol.
Yeah.
How about the rest of you?
Perimeter.
I'm going to take my tricorder and do a closer scan on the graves. I'm going to pull the DNA and match it to the crew complement.
Oh, okay,
to find
cool,
out exactly who is in the grave.
nice. All right.
I'm gonna head over to the shuttle or the
ship,
and I'm gonna see if there's enough power to open the doors.
Okay. So there's not enough power. There's emergency power. Emergency power.
So the door, but I can't get the door open to get inside.
Yeah, you could.
Open
You
it
could.
and go.
Yeah, you do the whole like.
Would you wait until we were back scouting to approach the ship?
No, our job is to get rid of the ship ASAP.
Yeah. Okay.
We just want to make sure nobody stumbles across us with the shuttle. So
Also, I want to
be
make
good.
sure nobody's in the ship playing with phasers. That's my job.
Yeah.
Phaser fight!
Yeah.
Put it on the lowest setting wide beam, which just makes everybody feel like they got stung by bees.
I'm pulling a Riker and sort of just looking around.
Knee up on like.
Oh yeah,
on
doing the
something.
lean on a
Yeah.
rock.
You want to roll for the tricorder or?
I'm gonna tell you who it is. Give me 1 second.
Who succeeds? I do. Who keeps the metric system down?
We do. We do.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. Okay. So it is Forrest and the vet.
So which one's
Captain.
they?
So the captain, the lead scientist and system engineer, and Ebab the vet, the Andorian geologist. They're the ones in the grave. Okay. As for you two,
Me?
you guys are doing checks, right?
I'm in the ship, yeah.
Okay. So why don't you give me a search, like a roll?
For me?
Yeah. You're just doing like repair checks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And what are you doing? You're going to the bridge and doing kind of like the same thing on systems?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if there's minimum power. We'll see if we can see what the computer's doing. I do have computer expertise.
I watched an episode about the ship, about the size of it.
Yeah.
It's the size of 2 Winnebagos.
There you go. So can we get a let's go a reason and engineering for you and a reason and engineering for you.
Cool.
That is 2 successes because I rolled a 1.
Okay.
That's no successes. I need a 14 or less, but I do have. I can re-roll one of those.
Okay.
Nope, that's worse. But it's not a crit failure. I'm like, Gurkhan, there's no power up here, man.
Okay. Yeah.
You got
pretty
anything?
much. So you're like banging on a system. I just have this image of you just kind of like hitting the system. Yeah, and right next to you is the one that's lit up.
Yeah.
But you're like, God damn it.
What? This one should work. This is the command console.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I only drive left-hand drive vehicles.
So most of the personal effects, I figured after you scanned, you would have gone and started looking as well. So most of the personal effects belonging to the scientists have been taken. For you, the ship is beyond repair.
Okay.
Even with supplies from your ship, this one will never fly again.
No problem. So I'm setting up my charges then. And I'm using...
Okay, hold on. Just before you... And you notice the reason your system isn't working is because the data cores, along with all the logs, have been removed.
Oh no.
That's for you, for your extra...
That's a noob.
Did I give you one already?
You gave me one already.
Oh, okay.
I was like, cool, give me 2.
Shh, don't tell him.
But I'm using some sort of the device that I envision my guy has is almost like a corrosive bomb, less acid, more like little tiny nanobots that will actually eat the metal away
Okay.
of the ship and continue to work.
Okay. Never mind. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna let you. Can you lean over and read this highlighted part?
Yeah.
While he, oh yeah, I put that in there. While they're doing that, I'll reach out to you over comms and yes, go.
So you notice that it takes you a hell of a long time to determine two very simple things. Like, as long as they're doing that, it takes you to do something that should have taken like minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yesakov. All the personal effects of everyone on board, as well as the computer cores and data, has been taken from the ship. Gurkhan says it's irreparable, so we're gonna have to take measures to eliminate it.
More systems go down on the bridge while you're standing there watching.
Oh no. Do I know why?
Do you want to do a check?
I would like to find out, yes.
Okay, your difficulty is increased, just so you know.
I can buy an extra D20 with that.
Okay.
And I guess I'm using my tricorder for this to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Since the ship system.
So the tricorder is not giving you any extra bonuses. You can come in just as this is happening, actually.
Reason and engineering? Is that what we're doing? Or reason and
Oh,
science?
yeah,
So
that
that's
would be
the
region
same.
engineering. For
We're
you.
all working on the same ship. We're all working
Different scenarios.
So we're all working on the task of
No, he's looking
doing
at something
something
different right now.
Huzzah! Oh, but I can re-roll that because I'm a technical expert. So that'll be... I
3 successes.
don't have a focus that will make that a success, so 3 successes.
Okay. So you do not get any momentum. And you notice that something is like the power is being shut off.
Like remotely?
Your scans can't give you like a if
Do I
you
kn-
want to say yes, but as you're like looking at your tricorder and you're kind of like banging it.
I walk in. Captain, the electromagnetic interference in the atmosphere is affecting our tricorders.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And I just walk past Connor. We were almost ready to go.
Yes. I'm just planting charges now.
Okay.
And they're basically just the equivalent of viral bomb. Like, not virus, not actual virus. Like, this tiny nanobots that will consume the metal of the ship and then consume themselves.
Can
is
you...
that just in your engineering kit?
Oh, no, because that is something that we would carry to get rid of ships on planets, I'm assuming.
Can you come with me for a sec?
I have a question for Sofik when he comes back. I want to know if we're close enough to transport the bodies onto the shuttlecraft. I don't want to leave them here, especially if it's a captain. You don't need to whisper.
Something
tell people.
similar.
So...
I want to... Sorry, you go.
Okay. As you guys are working away and setting up your things, a sudden breeze stirs up ash from the crash site, and several flyers come out from cover of trees and settle on the ground nearby. Vehicles each disgorge about a half dozen humanoids. They're slight of build and shorter than humans. They have covered with a light coat of fur with large lemur-like eyes, and move with like a graceful agility as they point energy weapons of some kind in your direction. And then you kind of like sort of see a group of them walk out holding a group of them like walk out and kind of like just call for your surrender. And this is where we're going to fade to our break. Yazikov is missing. So we'll be back in a few minutes with our continuation. Okay, so we're back. So the crew has been sent to find the SS Tesla around a primitive planet. Well, primitive, but like not like
Primitive compared to the
yeah,
time frame
21st
we're
century.
from.
Yeah. You managed to get down to the planet undetected, and when you went on the ship, you noticed that some key components were missing. All the scientists and their effects were missing. 2 of the scientists are dead. Tricorder scans are really difficult. And as you were patrolling the area, you got captured by a bunch of lemur people, Lemurians, and then you had sort of like seen a bunch of flyers come in, and they took you captive as well. We're fast tracking to the capital city.
It's going really well.
I mean, it's going about as well as most of your games
Usual,
go.
yeah.
Okay. So, the central headquarters is a massive building with high ceilings and glass walls that look upon...
My bad.
That's okay. Upon closer inspection, like you realize are made out of like an opaque amber. You're taken to a room that overlooks the city and the dense, misty forest beyond. The most striking thing about the building is that it's actually an enormous living tree. In fact, all the all the dwellings appear to be made out of living trees. The living spaces are naturally grown inside the trunks of the trees, and soft moss lines the floor rather than carpeting. As you enter this room, the 4 scientists are there and excitedly greet you. The head of the Lemurian government is there as well and greets you after the scientists have a chance to explain. So, the lead scientist, Sherman, provides the following. Spatial anomalies. They're cataloging spatial anomalies, and the Tesla was struck with an unexpected gravimetric wave that damaged the ship's warp drive, as well as other systems, including comms. They managed to limp to the organ system and tried to set down, but the damage was too great and crashed instead. Captain Forrest died attempting to patch together the warp drive, and the vet died during the crash. I took command of the mission after Forrest's death. The Lemurians detected the crash and arrived soon after. Not being beholden to the Prime Directive, they're just the citizens. I'm letting you guys know this. We opted to, I'll just say it. We opted to accompany the Lemurians back to their capital city in hopes of finding a way to contact the Federation. Now, though, we've learned that the planet's in distress, and we've decided to help them come up with evacuation plans.
What kind of distress is the planet in? And sorry, what was this scientist's name again?
This is Emmett Sherman.
Emmett Sherman.
Yep.
Remember that for me, yes, Grove.
Yes, sir.
You're an excellent number 1.
I
Scene
could
over.
have changed scene.
Scene over.
Thank you, yes.
What kind of distress, Sherman, is this planet in?
So Organ 3 is suffering from severe geological distress. The gravimetric disturbances are wreaking havoc on the planetary communication system. There's been major earthquakes becoming common, and we've estimated that the planet will break up in 2 weeks.
That might explain the interference we were having with both the transporter as well as the tricorders.
So at this point, the leader of the government kind of stands up and kind of cuts in. Says, "I'm Chief Minister Truel."
Remember that.
What's your contact book?
We don't understand the contact. Use your contact book. Is that? Did you give him a contact book as like a gift? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
It's canon now.
it's
Cool.
canon. It's canon.
They took it from me.
They did take it from him.
All right.
I really just need some paper.
Ow. Sorry. We don't understand the disturbances. We're hoping you can use your shuttlecraft to determine any, causes.
I walk over to the captain in his ear and I go, possibly the power source we detected north of the city.
Just one moment, Mr. Truel.
Truel, Chief Minister.
Chief-
Truel.
Forgive me. Chief Minister Truel, I need to consult... Just a moment. If we help them now, if they've already known about us, does that violate the Prime Directive at all? Anybody?
I believe so, sir.
Beagle's like, uh-huh.
It would, however, if we can theoretically assist them if the cause of the planet breaking up is artificial in nature. As we are not interfering with natural evolution, we are simply removing something that has altered their course already.
Especially if power source is foreign in nature.
Which is most likely as they are not at the technological level. And would also gain nothing from disintegrating their own planet.
Okay.
Did the humans not attempt that multiple times in the 20th century?
Yes.
Same, but different.
So
Chief
we have
Minister
plans.
Truel.
We have plans to evacuate as many people as we can to Oregon 2 with our own tech. We may be able to get a few hundred to safety. But with the help of your scientists and now a starship in orbit, we could rescue far more. A few hundred will not provide enough genetic diversity. We'll come to end as a species, but with your help, we'll be able to save ourselves. And as if to like as if timed, it's not, but it's like, think TV dramatics.
Yeah.
The whole building just kind of like everything just starts shaking, and you see this huge crack just like crack up the side of the wall.
Most impressive. Chief Minister Truel. Now, the scientists aren't bound by certain restrictions that we may be. However, there is a possibility that north of the city there's something that may artificially be causing this instability. If you were to allow my team to investigate, we may be able to come to an understanding.
Oh, Commander, now please, you can't. This is Sherman. You can't expect them just to sit here and watch themselves die when you could totally help them.
Sorry, as an aside, like, wouldn't the scientist know about the Prime Directive?
Scientist does, but the scientist is not Starfleet.
Yeah, but like...
Scientist is just a Federation citizen, and the Federation citizens are not beholden to the Prime Directive, just Starfleet.
Yeah.
I do give the scientist a glare.
Yeah.
And I
but
say,
Oh,
he
he
doesn't
totally...
need to be an asshole.
Oh, yeah, no, he's
doing
totally...
it on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I
totally
give
doing it
him
on
the
purpose.
stare down and I go, the professionals are speaking.
Okay, can you give me a... what, like a presence?
It would be a
presence, and security.
Yeah. That is 2 successes.
Okay, and it's going to be against my, let's say, insight and command. Yeah, this is not going to go well. Oh?
That's a 19 and an 11.
Oh, yeah. No wins at all.
For him?
Yeah, he just kind of like looks at you like, and you can see him about to like...
Also, this might have been the first time this civilian has met a Klingon.
Yeah, no, he just totally like just mouth closed. Like he looks to like say something again. And he's like,
It is wise to not get into
he
an
just
argument.
sits back down.
It is wise to not get into an argument with the Klingon. Verbal usually escalates to physical.
Kind of like Wookiee. What's a Wookiee? Saw a movie, 20th century thing. Don't worry about it.
Nice. Okay.
We watched it together in the holodeck in a fake theater. I had a Sith robes on.
He was rooting for the... Don't worry about it.
I didn't know what they meant back then.
Chief Minister Truel, we have certain provisions among Starfleet that we must adhere to. Or should I? Yeah, I can say Starfleet. They've already told them. I gotta remember. But we are at very least willing to investigate these possibilities. We would need some. We would need to return to our shuttle to do so. If you would give us leave, we believe we may be of some assistance within our purview.
Okay. Okay.
GM just leaves.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the USS Payette. Thank you for showing up.
GM needs his notebooks. There are notes a coming.
Uh-oh.
Can I sense what he's thinking?
The lemur.
The lemur
No,
chief minister.
no.
True.
They seem to be kind of like. You just hear. No.
I just start dancing. Like, what's that? Don't worry about it, guys.
I've given
But
the
I
entire
really like
crew
this
No,
song.
they're all like they're not simple, but there's something about their brain that you can kind of get base emotion, and right now it's just kind of like, let's say, an overwhelming concern and fear.
Fair. Okay.
I might have mistakenly put a little bit of that audio plague into that music during the
Yeah.
not knowing that it was still part of our ship.
On one of our previous encounters, and I don't think you're writing notes, and I don't think it was actually recorded, that one, or was it was
podcast
before.
or something.
There was a podcast.
I think it was before we started streaming live. They we encountered essentially an ancient techno virus that came across as music.
Technofire sounds like a band.
Yeah,
It's a
and
German new
it,
wave.
because we had a monitoring system on the ship that broadcast to the entirety of Starfleet, we almost ruined the Federation.
Well, that was a different ship.
Yeah, and that ship is now everywhere.
Fair enough.
Or at
Well,
least not everywhere.
They
A
might
lot of
have-
bits of it
They
are
might
gone.
have kept the Neurogel packs for that ship.
Yeah, that's
we were
fair.
testing those.
This is all happening while they're talking. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So
So we all have the same earbud.
Beagle whispers something to you. He's a little concerned.
I like dragons.
I'm just trying to get us out of here.
So they're willing to help.
We can't let him on the shuttle.
Do you tell them about the power source, or are you going to keep that to yourself for now? Like, that was done with your little group. You're not going to say that out loud to this guy, are you?
I wasn't planning on
Okay.
it.
Okay. So what would you like to do then? So the scientists start kind of coming up to you and saying, like, they ask to speak to you privately, and Thruel leaves. And one of the scientists, the Trill, Faz, walks right up to Beagle. And what kind of? Oh yeah, you know what? Let's make her like. We're gonna make her like a Southern belle. Because why not? It's a screwy accent, and why not, right? So she just walks right up to Beagle, and she's like, "Well, hey there, sugar.
So when
It's
Beagle
been a
tells
long
me this,
time. How you doing?"
Got my sweet tea.
And Beagle kind of like looks really like, what? Oh my God, Faz, is that you? Oh, I knew you'd remember me, sugar. And she just kind of goes like that, but as she does, he kind of like withdraws. He's like, no, I knew the rules and so do you. And steps away.
Oh no! You just see my entire face, Zanny's face go, oh,
Yeah.
really? What happened to the... I got so many follow-up questions.
And that's when he stands behind you and whispers something to you.
Okay. What do you mean bean?
Yeah,
Yes?
yeah. Do you
What do you mean bean?
does Yazikov not know what a trill is?
Well,
Do you know what a
I
trill is?
don't know what a
So-
trill
Oh,
is.
okay, sorry.
A Trill
It's okay.
it's a person and a symbiote, and
Yeah.
their last name is that one symbiote.
Yeah.
And the host may die, but the memories of the symbiote transfer on over and over and over again.
Right.
In Deep
okay.
Space Nine, there's Jadzia Dax. Dax is the symbiote, Jadzia is the person. So she can have the memories of like 15, 20, 30 generations
Yeah.
in that one person.
Right. So okay.
Now the thing is, which may explain my face, is when the host dies and the
Yeah.
Trill's moved on, the new host is not supposed to, if they had an intimate relationship with
Okay.
somebody previously,
Yeah.
they're not supposed to go back to that intimate relationship because it can mess up
There might be a
everything.
familiarity, but
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Screwed Worf on that one.
Screwed Worf, yeah. So Beagle is kind of like looking really uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Beagle, come here. Let's discuss security options for
Thank you. Yes, sir.
the away mission. I'll like take him off and kind of move between.
As you
her
move,
and
wait,
him.
Beagle, I'm going to require full debriefing later.
As you're walking away with Beagle, he's
Yeah.
like, maybe we should help them. I think we should help them.
You know that we'll do everything we can.
I mean, Faz wouldn't do anything if it was like a bad idea. I think maybe we should help them.
You know that we are constrained by.
Hey, I got it memorized, but I mean, like, there's ways around it, right? Right, there are ways around it.
It depends, really. Depends what your captain wants.
There's ways around it. He's just kind of like this.
I'm aware of Captain Kirk, thank you.
I do talk to Beagle and I go, she made one bad decision, leaving you, and then walk away. Just to make him feel better.
Let's
Turn into Dr. Phil.
Let's keep the drama under control.
When you start talking to the scientists about the prime directive, the scientists just kind of like shrug and they're like, well, the Lemurians already knew. They already know, so... And then they kind of like hit a button on the table.
Mm.
And you see a live broadcast of the news showing recorded interviews with the scientists telling reporters all about the Federation.
Oh.
And you see a camera every now and then. You know how they have a little side camera?
Mm.
They have one and it's kind of like scouring the sky as if it might be looking for something.
There's a difference between not being constrained by the Prime Directive and just like
I'm guessing that we
flipping
can.
it off.
If we get them out, they still can be.
They can't be court-martialed.
They can't be court-martialed, but they can be
reprimanded.
charged.
Oh yeah, they can get in a lot of trouble. But they're kind of the mind. They're kind of the mind that
these people were evolved enough.
No, that they rescued them, so we gotta rescue the other people. The people rescued us, we gotta rescue them. That's
what I'm actually more concerned about at this point now is making sure that these technologically advanced people who don't know or who know about alien life don't go to the less technologically advanced planet in the system and tell them about life, especially since they're more
that's
warlike.
what they're planning, because they're planning on going to number 2 where the lizard people are.
The war
so.
Well, they'll die. The Lemurians will get killed on that planet.
Sherman?
You kind of like, yeah.
If we get out of this, we're going to have a very long talk. But for now...
I'm sure we are, Commander.
What do you know of the energy source north of the city?
What energy source?
You didn't...
When we were coming down, we didn't have anything. We salvaged everything we could from the ship and brought it in case we were able to help these people finish advancing.
A ship detected an energy source north of the city that is far in advance of the technology of the Lemurians.
I mean, they don't have any tech that could detect it, but do you have your shuttle still?
Possibly they might have confiscated it.
No, they don't know enough about our tech to operate it, so they've basically just left everything alone, unless we guided them through, and we haven't done that with the shuttle. So, I mean, if you got your shuttle, you could probably...
They left it alone. There was materials missing from your ship.
Yeah, we took them.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
You haven't guided them through the shuttle, insinuating you've guided them through other things.
Well, yeah, how to read and how to see, and like we want to bring them into the Federation if we need to.
Yeah, Mile.
The Federation will never approve bringing in a pre-warp culture.
Hey, what do you know? You're just Starfleet. You're the military arm. We're the scientists. We're the ones that are actually... And you can see as she's kind of like going on one of those sanctimonious kind of like science above all else rants. You see the doctor look more concerned, like the actual life doctor, about more like... you get the vibe that she's more concerned about just the safety of the population. Do no harm. And Faz seems to be kind of like...
Sanctimonious?
Yeah, so Faz seems to be more almost like... I'm just here to see what's going to happen next.
Oh, no, that's Faz. Sherman is sanctimonious.
Sherman is sanctimonious, yeah.
That's why I need my notebook.
Sherman is one talking to you about like the reason, like took command and...
Yeah.
From what you've briefly read about the captain, this never would have happened had you survived.
Well, that's unfortunate.
He might not have been Starfleet, but he believed in this, especially this rule, right? But he's the one that died.
So they're not Starfleet at all?
No.
So I make a point of saying, do not quote Starfleet regulations to us, non-Starfleet member.
Yeah.
You have not only messed up a potential first contact, but you have You know what?
You've also damaged a very good ship.
First off, we need to make sure that none of our tech from the shuttle gets into their hands. Regardless, they're a pre-warp civilization that cannot have that technology. Secondly, we need to find that power source, potentially shut it off. If it is more advanced technology, we need to find out where it comes from.
So
and get rid
Lord,
of it.
the one that hasn't spoken yet, just kind of pipes up and says, what about using the shuttles? I mean, if you take the shuttle up, you can adapt its scanners to read for the unusual energy.
Good plan. We just got to get out of here. Can you convince Chief Truel to let us?
Just ask.
I thought I did.
No,
Did I
ask
not?
Truel.
Oh no, I thought anyways.
Fair
I
enough.
was kind of
Is there
demanding.
any way to get in touch with him?
Where's the?
And knock on the door?
She hits a button. Lort hits a button, and Truel walks back.
Chief Minister Truel, we've discussed with the scientists, and we do need to explore a region north to your of your city.
What
temporarily?
That does not sound like evacuation plans to me.
We believe we can potentially prevent the destruction of your planet wholesale.
However, we would have to go back to our shuttle and use it to see if we can detect what's causing this. And I'm going to try and convince him with that.
Okay, give me a presence and command.
Yay, my presence went up. Ha! 2 successes.
Okay, and this is going to be versus my insight and command.
That's
15 and a 20.
Jeez.
Gee whiz.
I speak real good.
I'm using a threat to re-roll.
12.
Yeah. All right. So he just kind of like, fine. But we'd like one of your crew to remain.
Beagle?
I believe Beagle would be useful for us, sir. Or not?
Is I can lean into
sir.
Yezikov. Do you think you? Sorry. We whisper this. I go. Do you think there's any reason he shouldn't stay? Is there a problem with the trill? Do you think that's really going to be an issue?
No, I think that it makes him uncomfortable.
Well, we're going to need Sofek. We're going to need Gurkhan.
Do we need all the scientists?
They're not coming.
They're not coming.
Well,
It's just us.
okay. Well, we leave one of the scientists.
No. He wants one of our crew to stay.
He didn't actually
Specifically,
specify.
yeah.
No.
I don't. He
I
just
think
said.
Oh, keep all the scientists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to be like, would you like to keep Sherman?
Yes, that'll work. Yes.
Perfect. Everybody back to the shuttle.
Is the Lemurian drinking wine?
Before we
He's just,
leave,
I don't know. I like the.
Tree
No, but he has a
nectar.
glass of wine when you
Yeah, he's got tree nectar. Would you like to try some?
No.
I go. I'm on duty. I
Perhaps later then.
so before we leave, I want to stop by Sherman and say, "Do not tell them anything else."
You're not the boss of me.
Yes,
Are you going to intimidate?
I'm
All
going to
right.
intimidate.
So another presence and
I'm just
command.
waiting for
I
a
was
Vulcan
gonna-
neck pinch.
I was gonna
Keep
help.
Sherman.
Right.
13 and a 1.
Oh my God.
So that is 3 successes.
Stand up to that.
I just kind of like stand up straight
Yeah.
and like give him a
This
look.
person's been
All
threatened
6
by
You know what?
foot 4.
Sherman is super sanctimonious. I'm burning a threat.
Yeah.
So I'm down to half to give myself an extra dice. Okay. I need 13 or lower.
18, 11, and 6.
Ah. So she kind of stands up to you, and then as you kind of like tower, she kind of
Yeah.
like. But she sits down like I'm meaning to sit down.
Wait, did I threaten
Right,
Sherman
yeah,
earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, you threatened Sherman.
You threatened
threatened
her.
Sherman. I haven't threatened Sherman. I've just straight up told her, like, you were in so much trouble.
I didn't.
Okay, so
threaten
why
her.
don't we
I
get,
just reminded her that she shouldn't. Say
Why don't we get some scans of the planet's surface? So I'll let one of you make a scan, so reason and science, and then somebody else
We're
could
gonna
do.
get support from the ship.
No, it's a shuttle. It's not enough to support you.
I'm going to pilot the shuttle, obviously.
Well,
over
no.
to
So here's what I was
the
going to say
area.
is so you can either do the other. There's only 2 stations.
Oh, okay.
So one person. So regardless of piloting,
Sure.
right? One person can make a reason and science, and then somebody else could make like a control and engineering, because like diverting power to the sensors, or even by like using coordination and searching with like presence and command.
I'll do the engineering.
I'll do the scanning.
Because I know we've seen this energy source once before, so I'm going to tune the scanners directly into what we might have had as a reading on the way down.
Okay.
I would like to assist with the scanning.
What was our direct? Well, I'm going to use determination for the prime directive.
Ooh. What is your? How are you using the prime directive?
We fucked
Got
up.
it.
We gotta fix it.
Yeah, we didn't mess up.
They fucked up. Now we're gonna
someone
fix it.
else.
That
has
should be a constant
interface.
determination for on the ship. Gotta fix what you fucked up.
Gotta fix what we fucked up.
So that is
Never mind
with
that
the
one.
determination total of 4 successes.
Even without me helping.
And then I guess I'll engineer.
Do that engineering.
Yeah. So you got 4 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's your 2 momentum.
Count
I'm
on
gonna-
using the prime directive. This whole mission's a prime directive.
This whole mission messed up the prime directive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do no ridges, no problem, because they are an alien species, but I'm gonna help them for my determination.
I like.
Cool.
And I'm gonna see my veterancy. Veterancy doesn't help me. It never helps me.
That's not true. It has helped you a few
couple
times.
But that's gonna get me 2 successes in that start, and 1 more plus a big old failure.
Big
So
old
3
20.
successes and a 20.
Okay. So 3 successes.
Yes, because
Because you burned your. Okay, so you're gonna get one of these. However, you overload the ship's systems. All checks on the shuttle will now be with 1 complication.
Fair.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Turn around? Why?
Yeah.
And I go, it doesn't feel so good now, does it, Captain?
I just have like one of those foam
Sorry.
sprayers ready at all times.
Yeah, he's standing. Yeah.
Literally, I go, it doesn't feel so good now, Captain. Sorry, I meant I made an error in power transfer.
Okay, so the source of the energy emissions that harm the planet are coming from a location 5 kilometers beneath the surface.
That was an additional success because I have shipboard engineering systems, and that was a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you go. So you guys basically pooled up.
I'm gonna ask a question. How much did it hurt, Captain? When I'm in control of the ship, he gets hurt. When he's in control of the ship, I nearly die.
No, we just get multiple concussions.
He's fine. We got a good doc.
So, okay, so there's a bunch of caverns that lead down to where you need to go. They look natural caverns, kind of like those, you know, those ones in the Ukraine that are just like ridiculously huge caverns. That,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. Caverns, weird power sense, continental disruption. Romulans.
I was just thinking this.
Right?
Do we have phasers?
In the ship.
No.
Well, they're in the
Did-
shuttle,
we had
right?
the
it's
civil
cleaned out.
surface? Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
did the...
Wait, they cleaned our
Yes.
shuttle out?
Yes.
Fuck Aries.
Damn
I am
scientists.
going to use my strength to rip my batleth off the wall.
Well, no, it's our
No,
shuttle.
it's welded on there, baby.
I'll have the panel with it.
Yeah, they knew where your shuttle was. They surrounded you guys completely. Remember? They found you and Bagel
okay, so
in the
lemurs
forest. So.
took our phasers?
Yes,
That's not good.
and none of you asked to get it back.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think
I
they
didn't
took
know
anything
took
from our
anything.
ship.
Yeah.
they took everything from you guys.
Yeah.
And okay, so you've got
Well, I've got my
Boot knife?
my boot
Boot
phaser.
phaser.
you got your boot phaser.
What
Beagles
do you
is-
call them? The, like,
Beagle calls
The
them the
phaser type
crickets, but they're called phaser type 1.
right.
Yeah. Pocket phaser.
Yeah, the little handheld
Yeah.
phasers in season 1 of Next Generation.
So you said it's 2 plus your security.
Okay, so the descent's not easy, fraught with danger. So I am actually we're gonna kind of fast track it because we're getting tight on time, but I want to kind of make it so that you guys understand that this is not simple. So I do want, as you guys kind of go through the first tunnel, it's unstable and it's like super like, yeah.
Do we take any... We're going to leave the scientists on the ship.
You're leaving the scientists there with the.
We left Sherman there.
Oh,
We
you
took
want to
the
leave
other
them all, or do you want to take the other 2?
They might be useful.
I thought we'll take the other 2 and leave them on the shuttle.
Okay.
Stay here. Guard the shuttle. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Harsh words.
I'm gonna lock the shuttle's flight so they can't take off without us.
Haha, nice. Okay. So the first thing you come up against is a ravine. I'm burning 2 threats to create this. It's a narrow ravine, possibly jumpable for a particularly athletic character. Otherwise, you'd have to probably climb or jump. So it will be it'll be pretty hard to do. But, you know,
Do we have, like, an
once one
intentional
person gets across with a rope, the others would be able to cross easier.
spot? Do we have rope?
Yes.
Just
Fantastic.
Yeah,
regular-
I'm gonna say you have all the equipment you need
Okay.
at this point in
I
order
mean,
to, like...
Theoretically, I could just.
It's Star Trek, you almost never don't have what you need.
Right.
Except
We
phasers.
replicated what we needed on the
Yeah.
shuttle.
Theoretically, I
We're
could
all
replicate
talking.
knives, right, on the shuttle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll jump it. Give me a rope.
Fitness.
I'll do it.
Fitness security.
The.
Here you go.
I'll just like stretch a little bit.
Want an extra one?
Oh right, we're not doing the difficulty thing.
You don't know what it is.
Would survival count as a focus?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And you're giving it's fitness security.
Yep.
I'm gonna risk it.
All right. Nailed it.
4 successes.
Holy
successes.
crap
I
balls.
just like leap.
We also have 4 momentum.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Only one.
Yeah.
I caught that.
I'm okay.
Yeah, so you jump and you do like kind of one of those nice little like, oh my god, you're like Laura Croft in the new Tomb Raider where
Oh,
you
yeah.
leap across and do that like wicked roll and stand up in the same move.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of do like a dust off.
Leap, Yazzie, leap.
You hear Beagle on the other side. Yeah.
I'll teach you that later. I'll use the rope and attach it to something.
You say I'll teach you that later as you
Yeah.
see Beagle about to like...
No,
Yeah.
no.
Beagle's starting his jump 5 feet from the ground.
Okay, I'll attach the rope.
Okay, the
That's
rest
it.
of you, I need a fitness and security, please.
I got 3, and 1 was a crit.
Okay,
Wow, actually, it's a decent 2.
okay.
I'm an old man. Let's see how this works.
You're a
What's that?
Klingon.
I succeed.
How many?
2.
2. Cool. All right. Keep in mind you can only have 6 in your pool, and
We
at
got
this point
4 plus 1, 5.
Plus
6.
1,
So you
6.
probably have
We're
6. So you
topped
might
off.
want to start using your as you need to. You guys carry on down the caverns, and you hear this weird.
Like hydraulics?
More like a geyser.
Okay.
How far away does it sound?
As you're moving in, you're getting closer, and you can feel it getting... Okay, so as you flick your flashlight up, you now no longer have any light from the cavern from the outside behind you. It's all now unnatural light. And the cavern is still fairly large, and you can feel it getting warmer and muggier, and it has that kind of sulfury smell. And just as you kind of flick up, you see a steam just kind of like shoot straight out across in front of you.
Well, that's terrifying. So who wants to go first? Yeah. You see all the like in the Star Trek episodes where they get in caverns, the lights just going in all different directions.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's pointing in
Yeah.
the same way.
Your tricorder will work in short range. Tricorders will work in short range, so you could use them here.
Yeah,
It was like larger scans that you would have a problem with.
I'm going to scan to see what the composition is. This water? Is this acid? What?
Oh,
What is it?
nice! It is water. It is steam. It is high pressured and hot, so it would do some serious harm if it hit you.
Is there a way around?
No, but you could probably time it with your tricorders.
I'm going to record for a couple minutes to see if there is a sequence.
Great. Give me a reason and science. Another one or a fluff?
It was a fluff.
Yeah.
2 successes.
Yeah, science.
Okay, so you're fairly certain that you got it figured out.
I will take points.
Well, she gets shot with phasers all the time, so sure, yeah.
Well, steam never hurts anyone.
Daring and security as you dive right in.
What is a geyser, Captain, except a training phaser?
Daring and security?
Was
Very
that
nice, sir. Very
was
nice.
that sarcasm?
I think
Did
it
you
was
just make a
sarcasm.
joke?
Yeah.
I wonder if the Borg may have had a beneficial effect.
Vulcans do not make jokes. We simply state facts that others do not seem to grasp.
As Beagle walks by you as you're saying that, and he's just kind of like, bullshit.
Language, Beagle.
I'm
sir.
gonna buy another dice.
Okay.
Cause yeah, of course. I don't want to die today.
Survival?
I do have survival, so that is
You can actually just
3
re-roll the 20 with it.
successes.
But she has 3 successes, but she needs a value. I don't think
Yeah.
Survivor's a value. To use determination. You can't use momentum to reroll.
No, not momentum. Determination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she needs a
She
value.
needs a value to pop it.
Survival in the colony. Not really.
Not really in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many did you get?
3 successes and 1 critical failure.
Okay, so as you leap sort of through, you kind of like do the really wicked Indiana Jones through the blades thing, and you just kind of like, when you do like a flip roll, and the steam is like, his timing was like just a little bit off, but you nailed it, except on the landing this time, you hurt yourself. Take strain, please.
Well, if we all got to go,
Like a stress.
Stress, yeah. So actually, I'm just going to add a complication to you. So all physical checks will have a complication now.
Okay. So I'll make the landing, and you guys can just see me my ankle roll, and
Yeah.
I'll just start swearing in Russian.
I'm just gonna go. I've adjusted the timing, Captain.
Oh,
I look at you.
Vulcan.
I'm learning a new language.
All right.
I guess if we all got to go, I'll go next.
I'd take off before he even said that.
Oh, okay. Give me a roll.
Ah!
All right. So
Intentional.
daring and security, please.
What's that last
Turn
one?
that one to get a 3rd dice. Daring into cootery. That is.
Ow, ow, ow.
13, 14, no, 19, 14, 17.
Yep, that is a horrible roll for me.
You just charge straight.
Burn the
straight
determination.
ahead.
I'm going to use the a crazy plan is better than no plan
Okay.
and I get my veterancy, so I keep my determination,
Cool.
and I am going to use it
That veterancy
to
is
reroll any
amazing.
dice in my pool. I get 2 successes.
Okay.
My highest possible stat line, and I have to use a determination and a momentum to save myself.
So you dive through. You charge through. You don't dive. Crap. You just
I
charge.
just run,
Yeah.
head down. You see the mane flowing. 'cause it's coming from this point.
Told you, hair ties, hair ties.
So you're as you charge through, the first one you're good, the second one you're good, the third one you're going too fast and you don't duck far enough and it hits you. You come out the other side next to Yazikov. You're going to take 2 strain and you're knocked down. Actually, I guess I should roll, shouldn't I?
6 and 6.
Yeah, 2 strain. And you are knocked down, so you are prone now.
I face plant next to you.
Oh, yeah.
You're like a step away, and the guys are just blindsided.
For the first time ever, like you've seen a Klingon actually pink.
You're so clean.
Yes. It's
Beagle's,
ridiculous.
Stick the landing.
Beagle's going to go next. Can Beagle use a momentum to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Make it happen.
So Beagle's going to roll the Starfleet colors.
Every time I get to go, just somebody else runs past me.
Beagle needs under 12.
You got 2.
Okay.
And no
so,
complications.
So same thing with Beagle. He kind of like, the second one he doesn't get, but the third one, so he comes out and his whole arm is just like red.
Yeah,
Okay, now I go.
Yeah.
What's the last one, Captain?
Right, I was going to spend a momentum to get a 3rd die.
Yeah.
And I got 4.
All right.
What?
There you go.
Thanks.
Captain watched 3 failure.
He's
just
like,
walks
that's
through.
that's my
he's-
value.
he's
Nothing,
full-
nothing better than practical experience.
Yeah, so the captain's walking through. He's like 1 1 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 2.
So, haven't you guys seen The Rock with Sean Connery?
No, Captain. I don't my hand.
Fitness security?
Daring security.
Daring security.
Is what he
Yeah,
picked.
that's the same.
That's
Four successes.
for him as well.
Wow.
He goes, Captain, I wasn't doing timing. I was actually scanning the walls to see when the temperature rises.
Yeah. So he just comes out the other side, and he hasn't even he wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah.
He's like, temperature's rising on the wall, stop. Temperature goes down, go.
Artificial lighting on the other side.
I just walk through it. They're all rolling around. It's like, birds. Captain,
I see it. They don't.
this is not bioluminescence.
Oh, it's not.
No.
It was so pretty. Now I just feel terrified.
So, are you photosensitive, Captain?
It looks like a cave-in caused a rupture into an artificially carved and lit corridor.
No, I'm not I don't photosynthesize. That is true. I step over Gurkhan.
I'll help Gurkhan up.
I'm like, my eyes.
You want to get up closer?
Yep.
All right.
That's what we're here for.
So as you walk up and you start scanning it, the cave-in appears to have been destroyed. The cave-in appears to have destroyed the carved-out tunnel in one direction. At the other end is a set of metal doors. You can tell the tunnel was carved by laser mining drill. Has a surface as smooth as glass. A surface as smooth as glass. Light panels also have no apparent panel source in the line the ceiling.
With the scan, are we able to tell what materials this are made out of? Is it known to us or just...
No.
I guess I head towards the doors.
As you do, it opens. Looks like an elevator.
We've had bad luck on these before.
Yes, I've got that boot phaser, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll pull out my caterpillar cricket.
Beagle's like, you want to live forever, and goes right for the door.
Oh.
No, he doesn't.
And all of us tackle Beagle.
Get back here.
I do pull out my knife that I replicated on the ship.
All right.
Pick up a rock.
Because I didn't specify what type of knife. It's
Yeah, okay.
knife, and it's like a kitchen knife that they.
It's a butter knife.
It's used to replicating food, so
Yeah.
it just gives you like a
Knife.
butter knife.
No.
Okay.
I just look around at all them all and be like, I'm fairly certain this elevator does not need physical threats in order to work.
I look at you and go, it's not what's in the elevator right now, it's what's at the bottom of the elevator once we get there.
So do you step in?
So we step in.
Okay. As soon as you all enter, the doors close.
I also mentioned to you, you shouldn't be making comments about technology and not being dangerous to you, Mr. I was once a Borg.
You don't really know how long you're in, like, you don't know how fast you're going. It's not very long, though, while you're in the elevator. And very quickly, the doors open again. Outside...
Now, I'm in an elevator, go from Ipanema to Sappins.
It's behind you.
I'm watching it and I'm going to do it.
Sophic, no.
Outside the elevator is a vast underground cavern filled with incredible machinery. Like, you are like...
I'm having a good day.
Whoa! Like, the air is hot and dry with an acrid smell. There's huge metallic towers covered with lights flicker as charges of electricity play back and forth between them. Between you and the electrified towers is a command center of some kind. Rows of computers and control devices line the wall, and large screens show mostly indecipherable information scrolling past. Occasionally, something familiar flashes on a screen, like a geographic map of the planet and a model of this solar system.
Do we have like a timestamp on when this happened? Like where this, how old this tech is?
All of that stuff you're going to have to figure out by rolling. Or by, like, figuring out.
Let's do it.
Scanny.
All right. So you can all do different things. You'd all have a tricorder. Yeah. So what I prefer is that you try and do different rolls so I can give you kind of like bits of information.
I'm going to try and basically carbon date this thing. I want to know how old this machine, how long this thing has been here.
Okay.
I'm going to try to figure out the purpose of this machine.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to translate the language that's being shown.
Cool.
I'm just gonna do that.
I'm I'm gonna threaten the machine with my knife.
Yeah.
You turn up. You stop hurting the planet. Ding.
I'm going to scan the size of the room to see if there's any other like hallways or I don't know if this is just like a hub and stuff goes out to other rooms in the cavern.
Power source?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do
Okay. So it's going to be insight and engineering for you.
Okay.
Insight and science for you. Insight and science for you. And for you would be, I would say probably reason and science for you.
Okay.
Or if you can sell me on it, I could let you use your security for like tactical reasons.
Okay, so I'm looking for the power source to see if it is a threat, if it is stable.
But you're trying to find out if like things are going different directions, right?
Yeah.
So
to see what the like if there are other like sections or corridors, so that we can move tactically through them.
okay. So yeah, reason and security then.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so who would like to go first? You guys can at least one of you can roll and use Beagle as like a backup roll, like an extra dice.
I'll leave Beagle to those guys, but I can go first.
Yep.
Beagle follows you like a puppy. Can I help against her?
Don't let him shoot something at my quarters.
That was an accident.
I'm going to use Into the Unknown to spend a determination for, because I don't know what this is, to get an auto crit.
You're doing the purpose, right?
I'm doing, like, how old is this thing?
Oh,
how
how
long
old?
has it
Okay.
been here?
Yeah, I'm doing the purpose.
I'm carbon dating it, because if it's been here longer than the civilization, then it's obviously somewhere else. Anywho. Because it...
There you go.
Oh! And then I got... Two successes. I have no focuses to... So 4 overall.
This is going to take too long to write out. So you guys are going to have to kind of role play as best you can, okay? Okay, so the machinery is clearly built... You're doing age, right?
Yeah.
Clearly built more than a millennia ago. Nothing about it is similar tech to anything you've seen on the planet. It's completely different. However, you are able to see that the systems, like the computer systems, show that the planet was at some time in its past moved from a different orbit to its current location.
Cool.
Yeah. The machine, yeah. That's what you can tell. So you can see where and now. Okay?
Interesting.
So it
Okay.
was once in orbit?
It's different.
It was
orbit.
once in a different orbit, and this machine is much older than the civilization.
Oh, the planet was once in a different orbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so give me a sec.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of you your things, and then I'll let you guys confer, okay?
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to roll mine. I'm going to burn a determination. Using technology should never be discarded.
Okay, and you had 3?
Veteran means no, it's gone. So that one goes away. And then I roll 2 dice, plus I already got the critical. And this is, you said, insight and engineering?
It is insight and engineering, yeah.
So
Oof.
I got no determination to fix that. So I do have a success, so 3 successes, and I rolled another 20.
Okay, so the 3 successes is going to work for you. And let's see. Okay, so we'll get to the oops.
The oops is something to do with my face being burnt.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so you were doing the purpose, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're figuring out the machines, and as you do, you realize that the machines are monitoring every aspect of the planet: geological makeup, electromagnetic fields, atmospheric conditions, and also has control over all of those things. Everything from water to affecting geological stability, which appears to be losing power. The systems also it appears to be able to compensate for stresses that resulted from the a massive shift in like say an orbit.
Okay.
And there's something else that you're but you're not able to decipher the machinery or the language.
Okay.
And it appears to be malfunctioning. Now, as you do all of that, one of the things explodes next to you. You're going to take two a strain.
Mm-hmm.
Or adds a difficulty rating to your next rolls.
I'll take the damage.
Okay.
Because the difficulty rating means more damage later.
Yeah.
I'd rather have more damage now than not more damage later. You're like, oh look, you looked at the wall, 4 damage.
Excuse me. Okay. So the more you're down here, the more you're realizing that this whole place is unstable. Who's next?
Sure.
8 and a 2.
Alien weapons?
I don't think this is a weapon.
Okay, so 2 successes.
So you're fairly certain that the way you came in is the only viable way in and out.
Okay.
It looks like the cave-in or the cavern, probably from that last big earthquake, took out whatever entrances might have been past this point.
Okay.
Maybe the cavern that you were in was part of another complex. Who knows, right? It could be at the bottom of that ravine.
Okay.
It's not like you want to go check.
Yeah.
You do see a couple power conduits going out of the area, but they're like embedded in the rock. There's no way you could follow them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the main power source is in this room.
Yeah, it is the source of all the power from that shockwave and everything else.
So would this count as studying a computer system?
If you wanted to understand the controls, yes. If you wanted to understand the language, no.
Yeah, I'm more looking for... Alright, I want to know what these controls do instead of going beep, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Yeah, so that one I would let you do. You gotta make... be a reason in engineering, though.
And do you get a beagle behind you?
You do have a beagle behind you.
Sure.
I don't need that deterrent.
And you've got... Beagle loves helping you. Like, he loves... Especially since that first day when he got assigned, and he considered it as a privilege. He talks about it all the time, how much he loved helping you.
I don't know if Vulcans feel guilt.
Because Beagle thinks that he's like, he likes to learn the science. Like, he's very much a science.
I need an extra D20.
You don't trust Beagle? I hope Beagle's dice rolls a 20.
Stefan rolls a 20. Beagle rolls a 8.
I'm removing the variables.
Beagle rolled an 8 for a success.
Alright, so I'm just going to reroll those 2.
Nailed it.
I got 4 successes.
Plus Beagle's one is 5.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Excuse me.
How did you get 4 dice?
Computer expertise gets
Gives
me
you
an
3
extra
dice.
1, and I paid a momentum for
So
extra
damage to the areas from the result of a millennia of a neglect. It's clear that a complete repair is not possible. The tech is just too complex. A full restoration might take years of studying the machines. A partial repair might be able to at least extend the machine's operations. Making repairs would require 2 of you, and it will be very difficult.
Are we able to make temporary repairs to stop the need for the civilization here to move to said other planet?
So I guess
for
we're back in
knowledge, and then we can send a science team back. And I'm just going to assume we shared everything that we heard, so that we can send a science team back to quietly figure this out later.
I would recommend that we do a temporary fix and report it to Starfleet Command, remove the scientists from the planet, and simply let it...
Technology as well.
Yes, of course. We would remove any Federation technology.
Yes. And simply leave it to our superiors to determine the best course of action.
For once, we're in total agreement. So, Gurkhan, do you think we could...
Repair this device temporarily, yes, but I do not know how long it will hold.
Why don't you give me a reason in engineering?
So, were you able to determine the language of the system?
Able to determine
One
how to
success.
use the controls.
One? Months at best.
To repair it?
No. It
No,
would be able to
last-
Yeah, it
extend.
could last.
It would maybe last months at best. Weeks if we're unlucky.
Yeah.
But enough to stop the tremors, long enough for a team to come back and maybe fix it
That-
permanently. Or temporarily.
I
Or
do not
longer.
think this device may be repaired permanently. It might be just
Enough
a
to
week.
get our scientists off this planet and stop doing any harm to it?
In the temporary, yes, and it might be enough for them to evacuate themselves off this planet.
I'll take it.
The species. Not enough that we can permanently repair this device. I don't even not. The Klingon civilization was not even around when this device was built.
Best we can do for now.
Best we can do for now is attempt to repair.
What do you need us to do? You're the engineer.
Give me the scientist and get out of my way.
Deal.
Yes, sir.
Also, keep the music flowing.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
So I guess I'm going to
And it's
attempt.
just echoing through the chamber.
I'm going to attempt to do a repair on this device.
Okay.
And I will assist.
I am going to burn 3 momentum to get 2 extra dice.
Whoa, okay.
Because I'm
Um,
going to rock this.
one sec. So, before you roll, haha.
We get attacked by Romuloids.
Nope, I'm burning some off. I got a D8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Me,
Okay,
of course.
and a D4.
2.
Okay, so just as you kind of all right, get out of my way, and you kind of get in there, and tremors open a small chasm, just kind of below you. Do 1 damage and pin you to the ground. Fitness and security can help maybe lift her up.
I'll run over and try to
I want to assist her.
Sure.
try to
Sorry, you can hand me my dice. I'm sorry, they're all in the way.
Not again! We need that man!
So survival?
Fitness and
Security.
Sorry, for a focus, could I use
Sure,
survival?
yeah.
So I've got 3 successes.
All right.
+1.
4 successes.
All right. So here's 2 more. Okay, so you do take the strain, but you're out.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, Captain, the sooner we get off this planet, the better my health will be.
That's always the case, Gurkhan.
Can
That's
I-
not new. So,
I guess, could I do a medicine to try to help him a little bit? Did you make any-
Not
I'm
if
literally-
he's going to be fixing this while you're doing it.
I'm
Just
literally-
following him around.
I'm like, wait till we're back in the shuttle.
Yeah, okay.
I go fix me before those steam pipes. Let's do this with all my 4 dice.
And I assist. With a 1.
So
that's a crit.
2, 3, 4, 5. There's nothing. None of my traits will actually work on this because it's technology I don't understand. So
No.
UPS power conduits or anything. So this and this, you said it was daring and engineering.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Oh my god.
He rolled a
Okay.
critical.
Well,
Yep.
here's 2 successes, 2 momentum.
I just lean over. Gurkhan, I believe you wish that control.
Yeah, so it's literally green, not red, green, not red, green, not red. Because
Red
oh
light.
my god, green, not red.
There's literally just, I'm tossing tools out. He's catching them, putting them back in the exact right spot on my toolkit so he knows where they are. I'm like, hydro spanner. He goes, I just gave you one. I throw it back. He catches it. I go, hydro spanner. Hands it right back. Just tossing tools out of there. I'm like, I think we might have done something good.
Okay, so as you kind of hit the red button, everything kind of and you can like instantly you see the static clear up on your tricorders. The shaking that was happening stops, and things seem to work. Things seems to work well and all functioning normally. In fact, you hear the like on your communicator.
Does that need a Payette?
Payette here, Captain.
Have you noticed any destabilization on the planet since we've arrived?
We've been noticing it for a few hours now, but it seems to have suddenly stopped.
Excellent. That's what I need to hear. Have you been contacted by the government of the planet?
No, you're the first person to try and contact us. We assume that's the interference, and they don't know we're up here, so...
Yeah. Well, apparently the scientists that were down here gave away the farm. They kind of know we're here, but we'll be back up as soon as possible.
We got a transporter lock on you now, sir.
Ah!
Would it be possible for you to site me back to the...
Shuttle?
Not the shuttle, the other ship.
The Tesla?
The Tesla.
Yes, Commander.
We do have to detonate that.
Yes. So, can you beam up the scientists as well? All four, including two in our shuttle outside of this cavern.
Scanning now, sir.
And there should be one in the city, along with maybe a few missing items.
It's the
Items,
giant
sir.
lizard guy that's our transporter chief, right?
Yeah, he's Zenkethi, yeah. Yes, they may have stolen a few things from our shuttle. when we
So
were taking
basically
off.
modern tech?
Modern tech.
Yeah, sir, I can find that.
Perfect. Transport it all up, and we'll fly the shuttle back.
Okay. We'll do that.
Zenny out.
Okay, so you guys head to the shuttle.
We'll head to the shuttle.
Maybe we should have them decide us to shuttle as we get back to the Geyser room.
In the ravine that I have to leap across again.
No, the rope is still there. You guys can just go across, and you know the timer for the and the geyser stopped. Remember? You stopped it all. You're at the other ship, and you're kind of setting up the detonation.
Yeah, by the time I get it finished, they should be arriving with the shuttle.
Okay, so you go right from the cavern to pick him up?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't go back to the capital city at all?
Well, if Sherman and all our tech is transported out of there, then I don't feel the need
en route to him,
yeah,
you get a communication from the ship?
Payette?
Yeah.
Yep. Zanny here.
Sir, we've got a bit of a problem here, and you hear just this, pure rage from multiple voices behind in the background.
Right.
How dare you? You're kidnapping us. We refuse. You can't force us to leave. Just going they're just pissed. Sir, we're not really. I'm a little bit help.
Recommend we confine them to quarters rather than the brig.
Yes. Let them know that they're our guests and stick them in conference room B. We'll be there shortly. Do your best.
All right.
I guess as we fly away, you kind of see some sort of silver eating away the ship.
We should probably let the local government know that the problem has been rectified, so that they don't start sending ships out into space.
Temporarily, at least.
Let's leave them an anonymous note.
Okay.
Unless somebody has a better idea.
Are you going to contact them?
I would recommend against it, Captain.
Then no. I'm going to take the Vulcan on this one. Sorry, Isakov.
Well, that's fine.
Hey, Beagle, what do you think?
Oh, sir. This one's a tough call.
We've done our job. We've helped them, Beagle. You can feel proud about that.
Yeah, we're good. Let's go.
All right. Sorry, 2 against 1. Number 1. I'm taking their recommendation. We'll send back we're going to send back a request to Starfleet for any proper first contact and or maintenance of that machine.
Technically, technology of this level that has been on this planet since before those people could possibly, if you argue hard enough, make them viable for Federation induction because they do have the technology. It was on the planet. since their evolution.
Your leaps in logic know no bounds, but no.
I am heavily
Okay.
injured today, Captain.
So you
I am
get
offended by you referring to that as logic, Captain.
I said leaps.
okay. So as back on the ship, the two of the four scientists are just
That's
like
nice.
lodging
Captain?
official formal complaints, and
Good luck with that.
yeah.
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 That's basically what I say. Noted. I'm like,
As you talk to Starfleet,
Mm.
you realize that there are no other ships within range to make it here before the machine will shut down completely.
Wow.
There is no way to repair it completely, unless you can, and you know you can't.
Yeah.
Shall we
You're the
drop a-
only ship in the area. And they kind of just look at you and say, "I'm sorry, Commander, the Prime Directive stands." Because the only planet you can take them to is one that's already inhabited by another species.
Yep. Which is what we wanted to avoid. Understood, Admiral.
Shrev looks at you and he kind of goes, "Off the record, Captain, I'm not telling you what to do."
Understood, Admiral. That's all I say.
Okay?
I don't want him involved in that at all.
Yeah. He hangs up and he's like, "I don't want to be involved in that at all."
And I'm sitting here like, Shrev, you tricky dick fun bill. I hate you.
Okay, and for the last day, you've been getting repeated, like, just open broadcasts into space, specifically to you and your ship, pleading for your help. Otherwise, they're as good as dead.
I'll call a conference of everyone, Dr. Bailey. So we're in a pickle. The Prime Directive would have me do nothing. We've done what we can, and we would leave.
Theoretically, Captain, if you really felt the urge, we could, like as you said earlier, give them an anonymous message pointing out that there is a third M-class planet in the sector.
Is there?
That's
There was
what
only
you said. You
two.
said three.
There's three, but on
3
Oregon
planetoids, 2
1.
M-class.
right. So the Oregon 1 is not.
Not really habitable. No.
Is there a habitable planet within a reasonable distance?
Not within theirs.
Not
It
within
would be
theirs.
within the next star.
Within yours, but you don't have the capacity to ferry that many people back and forth.
They are still using chemical rockets. We have done all we can. We have bought them time. There's
So-
nothing more we are allowed to do.
The-
honor dictates we help them.
The doctor is the
Bajorn.
Bajorn, right? Okay, so she
Yep.
she kind of pipes up and says, "What if we just don't interfere with the scientists? What if we happen to just like have a shuttle not properly secured, and if we just happen to not notice the scientists leaving to continue doing whatever they were doing?"
Do you think they would really help, though? They don't seem to help much before we got there.
But
I mean, it might save. Well, they didn't have an active ship.
and they also didn't know about the power source
Nah.
or have any of our expertise that we could lend them.
Well, we would.
Notes.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of just. She says it's more of just not interfering, if you will.
No, but on our shuttles, we definitely would have a detailed schematic of the piece that we found. We wouldn't purge that from the computers.
Unfortunately,
No, I
Captain,
wouldn't
though,
think so.
the mere presence of our shuttle can alter their future.
Not if it's true.
Not if we transport them down, though, sir.
Okay, so
They would leave a paper trail.
through the conversation, you guys realize that if you do nothing, less than a few hundred will be saved. Like if you take the scientists and go, less than a few hundred will be saved. It's not enough for genetic mix, and
That's
there'll
species
be
basic
nothing but a
genes.
memory within a few decades. If you directly help and violate the Prime Directive,
We'll all be court-martialed.
you could save almost 2.5 million of them.
But we'll all be court-martialed.
It will mess
Yeah.
with 2 species.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the Tesla had not crashed on the planet,
They would have been wiped out anyways.
yes.
Now, if you simply just don't interfere and happen to let the scientists do their thing, you could probably save. They could probably save enough for a proper gene pool.
The question
But it would be
remains,
tough for everyone.
if they did not crash, would they have gone down to help themselves?
No.
Therefore, I believe that natural cause leaves us no choice here, Captain. We've bought them months. That's the best we could do.
Why was the planet moved in the first place?
Anything from a massive earthquake in its past.
I mean, from that point of view, you could look at it like maybe somebody was already interfering. They've already had their natural evolution interfered with.
The planet could have been altered to have a Class M orbit.
Oh, it was totally. That's what the machine did.
But prior to these people existing.
No, it looks like it's specifically for them.
Whoever built it should come back and fix it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
that's a valid.
Again, Captain, the Prime Directive is clear. We have done more than our fair share for this planet. If a few of the scientists happen to, escape from their quarters and transport themselves down to the planet, that's not on us. We have been seriously injured, and our best crew were in sickbay.
I've taken all of your thoughts under advisement. I'll make my decision soon. You're all dismissed.
Yes, sir.
Gonna go directly to the med bay. I'm walking with the doctor back to the med bay. Hey, that's...
She really likes you. Yeah.
I'm gonna go visit,
My wife doesn't.
visit the scientists.
Okay.
I don't catch the attraction from her to me.
Yeah.
I'm we're friends.
Oh yeah, no, friends that way. Like
We're nerds, yeah.
she digs you. Like you.
Her and my wife pay Parcheesi together.
Yes. No Parisi squares.
Fair enough. They can do medical stuff on each other afterwards.
Yeah.
Repairs, you tore a ligament. I heal you.
Yeah.
I'll teach you how to use physio to fix your broken neck.
Stuff with each other.
Okay. How about you?
So when I go to visit the scientists, I walk in. I'll probably get screamed at again.
Oh yeah. Immediately.
Calm down.
So 10 minutes later.
Yeah. So 10 minutes later, after their voices boxes get
Ethical
out.
rant. Ethical
Yeah.
rant. Ethical rant.
Do you want a
Yeah.
wallet?
Yeah, you want a halls? I'll say you're a guest on a ship and you're free to go anywhere. And however, we will not dictate to you what your you are not prisoners, and we will not dictate your course of action. But an interesting note that there's a schematic of an interesting piece of technology that we found. Perhaps you should study it. And the transporter and the cargo bait too is usually unguarded between these hours when our Zenkethi transporter operator is on shift. It's also seconds at his quarters. Either way, have a great day, and I just walk out.
Okay. So as this episode ends, that's going to be the last scene. Second last scene. So the last scene is a shuttle leaving your ship, heading down to the planet, and then you guys jumping to warp. Nicely done,
Cool.
people.
All right.
Good job. I just wrote down Sherman is not an enemy. Who is this close? So that's it. That was our game for the night. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're a little bit late. Normally we go like half an hour earlier, but this was good. It felt good.
Yeah.
So we'll see you again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right? Yeah, 2 weeks. 12th, yeah. That's the wrong calendar. That's
That
April.
is April.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
12th.
12th.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back on the 12th with more episodes of the USS Payette. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at the GM Tim. I've got a Facebook page, the GM Tim. And we even have a Discord page. So if you want to come chat with us, you're welcome to join. And we sometimes play Star Trek Online too. So if you want to come play with us, let us know. In the meantime, thanks everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
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 Bye.